Pope Francis to drive popemobile inside Vatican. Make MSN your homepage. Sign in. MSN News. MSN News. Web. Images. Videos. News. Maps. Search. Home. Thus 2016 election blog. Recall report blog. Crime and justice. World. Science and tech. Pop culture. In-depth. Photos. Video. Pope Francis to drive his own popemobile inside Vatican. Reuters. Pope Francis is presented with a Renault 4 car at the Vatican on September 7. 16 hours ago. Philip Pullala of Reuters. Share. Tweet. Email. Pope Francis now owns a 1984 Renault 4 economy car, given to him by a 70-year-old priest from northern Italy, which he plans to drive himself. Vatican City Euros. Pope Francis plans to drive around Vatican City at the wheel of a popemobile that is a lot like him, frugal, clad in white, and with a fair bit of mileage. The 1984 Renault 4 economy car with 186,000 miles on the clock was given to him by a 70-year-old priest from northern Italy, Father Renzo Zacca, who took the Pope for a spin inside the walls of the tiny city-state. Related, Vatican, 100,000 attend Syria peace vigil with Pope. I think the Pope will drive it a bit himself inside the Vatican, the Holy See's deputy spokesman, Father Ciro Benedictini, said on Thursday. Reuters. Pope Francis is presented with a Renault 4 car at the Vatican on September 7. After the Pope appealed to priests several months ago not to drive expensive cars but to save money and give it to the poor, Zacca wrote him a letter saying he had used the same car for decades and wanted to give it to the Pope as a symbolic gift. He brought it last weekend, along with some of his parishioners, to the Vatican, where the Pope told him he knew how to drive it because he had had a Renault 4 in Argentina. The Pope, 76, then got in and drove it, Zacca told the Italian Catholic magazine Famiglia O Christian, a Christian family. Francis, who, as a cardinal in Buenos Aires, traveled by subway, has shown a predilection for simple means of transport even after his election in March is the first non-European pope in 1,300 years. On the night of his election, he shunned the bulletproof papal Mercedes limousine and rode in a minibus with the cardinals who had chosen him to lead the Roman Catholic Church. Related, Pope jokes about fear of being robbed in Vatican. During his trip to Brazil in July, he was driven around Rio de Janeiro in a small silver Fiat at his own request, and when he visited a refugee center in Rome on Tuesday, he used a Ford Focus from the Vatican's carpool. Francis has shunned the spacious and luxurious papal apartments used by his predecessors and has opted to live in a small suite in a Vatican guest house. And while Francis will likely never need them in Rome, which is hit by serious snow only about once every 25 years, Zacca's snow tires are still in the trunk. You never know, he told Famiglia O Christian. Euros. Join MSN News on social. Share your point of view with us on Facebook. Get the latest news and updates on Twitter. See photos and videos on Tumblr. Add choices 80 feedback. Today's agenda. 10 things to know today. Afghanistan attack and more. Most popular. Florida pastor who planned Koran burn out of jail. Sheriff's deputies arrested Pastor Terry Jones as he drove a pickup truck towing a large barbecue-style grill filled with Korans soaked in kerosene. Time-lapse video shows 9 years of 9/11 reconstruction. Nationwide memorials honor September 11 victims. On the 12th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks on the United States, nationwide memorial services honor the nearly 3,000 lives lost. Newlywed faces murder charge for shoving husband off cliff. Jordan Graham, 22, was charged with second-degree murder stemming from the July 7 death of her husband, Kobe Johnson, on and off the runway at New York Fashion Week. The semi-annual New York Fashion Week runs until September 12. From Jason Wood, Zach Posen to Bunny, the runways showcase the newest international fashions. Get set for cold, snowy winter, Old Farmer's Almanac says. The venerable 222-year-old Old Farmer's Almanac is predicting a colder, snowy winter for much of the country this year. News in pictures. Colo. Flooding turns deadly. At least 3 people have been killed. Day in photos. MSN News photo editors select the best pictures of the past 24 hours. New York.